Oh, hello, everybody. It's Brad Tassell live 1000 marriage questions. We've got a great show and a great day. We'd like to thank over 4,000 people watching our last show. Let me reach into the bucket and see what the first question is going to be. And let's see. Why is the wife always right? That is a great question. Why is the wife always right? Let me click on the thing, start the show, and we'll bring Donna in. 1000 Questions is an entertaining discussion of marriage. We aren't telling you to do or feel or change anything about your life. Really, just listen and enjoy. And if you need real help, find a professional for your specific problem. We don't know you. How could we speak to your deal? Okay, have fun. Hello, I'm here with Donna Wilburn. You were drinking a weird purple drink. What were you drinking?
Iced coffee.
Iced coffee. Welcome, Donna. It's another week of sequestering in our homes
Yep.
and talking about marriage. So, whenever a lot of these questions crack me up. So, why is the wife always right? I don't think that's the real question being asked here.
Why does the wife always have to be right?
Why is she acting this way?
I can never be right, is like probably the question.
No, I'm right, but she demands, pushes me down, and we have to do it her way anyway, even though I'm right.
That could be. It's just too bad. Wife's always right.
But you know what? This leads me to talk about this. My wife and I had this discussion this week about when you're arguing and what to bring up and how to bring up, and things like saying, "Oh, you're gonna go there."
That's a good argument.
What?
Go there, I'm out.
I'm not, well, or then I'm going to bring up this then, or I'm going to bring up this. So, but as far as being right, my wife and I were discussing when getting into arguments, how she had mentioned, and I mentioned, that you come into the whole thing knowing exactly, because a lot of times if we're going to have an argument, we wait a while to really think about what we want to talk about so that it's not a fight. It's not just anger in the moment, if that makes any sense.
It's so discussion.
It's a discussion, even though it can get tense and it can get sad and it can get
a little bit
working through it. Say that again.
A little heated, a little heated discussion.
But you want to keep that down. So Correct. We take some time before we do this. And then both of us in our heads are thinking, okay, this is it. I've got the thing to say that's going to really prove everything I'm saying. And then it all falls apart and you feel like a mumbling idiot when you start talking.
Oh, Brad, this is why I have a business, because that is not how you're supposed to communicate.
Tell us how you're supposed to communicate.
Well, you did good with the let's wait a minute, because I have a rule. It's no talking above a 5. Like, don't even try to communicate above a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. The more heated you get, the more insane you get. So why are you talking to somebody? You're going to hurt them, or you're going to say something weird, or, it's not going to go well. So only discuss, especially hot topics, when you are calm. If you're getting heated, we have people call a timeout. Like, I'm getting upset. I need a timeout. I should not be talking right now. Let me take a break and come back in 20 minutes. And then as you're talking, the reason we take a timeout is because, just like you were saying, once you get flustered, all your logic and reason goes out the window, and now you're just like an emotional mess, like not making any sense. So I even suggest like having a little bit of a outline, key points that I want to make, because if you get too emotional, your brain's going to forget. That's what goes out the window. Hence test anxiety. Once you get emotional, you're going to forget those important key points. So stay calm, write up your key points, and have a discussion. You do not need to communicate when you're emotional. Like, why we do that. We don't do that in a professional life. We don't need to do that in our personal life either. That's bad, rude manners.
And you should set it up just like a meeting. Come out with a clipboard, and the clipboard says, "I'm glad you agreed to meet me here today. Let's look at the minutes from the last meeting. Let's see. You called my mother a bitch. Let's see. You then said you were going to take the dog and leave, and then we closed with, let's repeat this next week." Yes, I think it's brilliant.
But as far as, it's good to have some structure.
Yes, you should have some structure. Well, and when I said what I said about it's coming out, we know exactly what we're going to say. We knew what we thought we were going to say about this point. And then it all fell apart because we don't really know how the other person is feeling. That mistaken empathy of not knowing what they're going through is something you really have to figure out. And that's going to lead where you're going to go. And then once you're empathetic to what they're going through, it makes it a lot easier to be calmer. And you kind of lose your track because you're like, well, yeah, there was some miscommunication going on that I didn't know that's how you felt. And how you sounded to me wasn't how you were trying to sound.
The thing about empathy, though, in your brain, you lose the capacity to be empathic the more intense and stressed and upset you get. So if you want to maintain empathy while you're talking and you want to remember this person across from you as a human being, you must be calm. You must be calm. Otherwise, you're going to say or do something that is going to hurt somebody.
I totally agree. The first thing in Don't Feed the Bully, if you see the book behind me, the first thing you do in any bullying situation, stay calm. Because you're going to get yourself in trouble or you're going to get them in trouble. So the answer to the question of why is the wife always right is you need to calm down and stop saying why you're always right and then discuss and compromise between each other.
Right. She's right about her feelings. Like we're all right about our feeling. We're right about our opinion. This is like, it's my point of view. It's my feeling. It's my opinion. There is not, you're wrong. It's just what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. So it's not, you can't say, no, you're not right. So I'm thinking there may be confusion about what he's hearing. If it's a he, well, yeah, it could be a he. What he's hearing.
Well, it could be same-sex couple, but it's the same.
Right. So if someone's saying, I'm really upset about this and I don't like this, of course they're right. That's their feeling. So maybe that person needs to clarify, like, is that your feeling and opinion or is that a fact? Because a lot of us don't even know what the facts are. So we can't even be right about that. But I'm right about what I'm feeling. I'll tell you that.
Well, and what you're feeling is right. And my perception could be wrong. It's right until I find out from you that it's wrong. And then the sex. Okay. So next question, calm down. No, you can tell I haven't shaved. Ain't nothing going on in this house. I haven't shaved in a week. So nothing's going on here. Okay. Why does mom, I love a quote, mom, you see anger in these little words. Why does mom always have kids bathroom duty?
Why does mom have kids do bathroom duty?
No. Why does mom always have kids bathroom duty? Why is it when the kid goes, I have to go to the bathroom? Why is it mom is always doing the duty? And I will start by saying, because you married that guy. That's one thing you should have talked about when you got married, because that's not how it was here.
That's my opinion too. Like you set that as the plan. You can change it up. He has bathroom duty or you have bathroom duty because you're allowing it to be you always to have bathroom duty. You can say but once they're over like what? 6 or something, you probably should have same-sex bathroom duty.
Yeah.
But like if they're under that, that you have bathroom duty because you're allowing the situation to continue.
Well, allowing it. And there's things that are connected to that have been clues from the beginning of what's being done. It's like saying, why is mom always the only one that's changing diapers? Well, you sure should have probably known that ahead of time and talked about that. And you know what I mean?
So that's the start of bathroom duty.
That is definitely the start of bathroom duty.
Starts like that where mom's you got it for life. Your bathroom duty for life.
And just the word duty. And here's how you change that too, is you send him out with the kids alone a lot to places where, and then they have
to go to the bathroom.
then there's no choice but giving him bathroom duty. Because and this goes for so many other things that are the same things. Why is this my duty? Well, it's not. You've just created that in your life. And sometimes I'm going to say this. I think people like this sometimes enjoy the complaining. They don't mind the bathroom duty as much as they enjoy getting to complain about it. They're sitting with other friends. Well, he never does this. He never does that. And they get this certain joy out of that.
We have we have a different term for that in actual mental health. It's called victimizing yourself, where I'm the victim, poor me. Oh, me, I have such a rough life. I have to do bathroom duty all the time. There are people who, I wouldn't say they enjoy it because it isn't fun, but let's say they learn that victimizing yourself is the thing to do. They may have got rewarded for it when they were younger. Like that's the only attention they got, is if they were a victim. So they kind of continued that process along the way. It's not healthy, absolutely not. But there is a term, and some people do that to their kids too. A lot of moms tend to victimize their kids because we feel needed if they are having a rough time. So I don't advise it. I don't.
And if it goes too far, it's Munchausen by proxy.
Way down the line.
Way down the line. You don't know what that is, write us and we'll tell you. Yeah. So, I think of this, when my daughter was little, I had bathroom duty a ton. My wife and I could be, when I was home a lot, all the time. And I wanted her to be able to rest and pump, and she actually was going to work. So when we would go out, but it's always a little funny when you have a little bitty kid and it's a girl and you're having bathroom duty in public and she's laughing. Oh, Daddy, this is so funny. Peeing all, and you're like, oh God, people outside are thinking, who's this man with this little girl in the bathroom?
Yeah, it's probably more awkward for guys, I guess.
So wait, Casey Moody just said, I have a house full of kids right now. Can I choke them all? No, you cannot choke any of your children.
There are laws against them.
She's kidding. And she doesn't have any young kids. I don't know what she's talking about. Her kids are both out of high school. So, all right, next. Wow, look at this. This is some big writing right there. Why is it her money when I want to buy something, but it's our money when she wants to?
I'm assuming that's a one provider household.
Well, I'm not assuming anything, because anymore in the world, you have so many men that aren't pulling their weight and they still pretend like they're the big breadwinner. She's got the job, she's doing all the housework, and he's still carting around like he's the big man running all the money, and still gets mad at. So I don't think we can suppose anything in this situation.
Right.
Why is it her money when I want to buy something, but it's our money when she wants to? I'm thinking she might be the breadwinner in this situation.
I'm thinking this person's projecting. That's what I'm going to say, because I bet you they do the exact same thing.
Explain what projecting is.
So projecting is when you point out something in someone else that is actually in you. So that person, to me, I bet is going around thinking like, this is my money. I should be able to spend my money how I want. And then when they want something, it's like our money and all that. Or it's probably more like, it's my money, it's my money, it's my money. And why do you want some of my money? That happens a lot in stay-at-home mom type scenarios, where it's really challenging for the mom to feel valuable because she's not actually bringing in money. And so in her head, if she wants to buy something, she has to think of it like our money, because she can't think of it like my money because she didn't earn the money. So of course she has to think of it like our money. I think it's like related to the self-esteem, the insecurities, things like that.
Money is rough. You got to think back to Ricky Ricardo giving Lucy an allowance every week. This is your allowance. And the allowance was to buy household thing. It was like, and then she might have had a little bitty budget to buy herself some lipstick or something like that. This just harkens me back to that horrible 50s and 40s times where people are the little woman, she can't handle the money. I'm telling every person out there, The money is your both money at all times. It is everyone's money.
If you're going to be married, you should be a team. A team.
At all times, and on your spending, and get on a budget. Know what you have, know what you're spending. Don't spend crazy. It's so funny. Now, one person usually cares more about the minutia of the money, but the other one's got to care about what it's going. I'll tell you this, if it's over $100 and you don't have a lot of money, you have to discuss it. That's all there is to it. You have to discuss it. In our house, my wife doesn't care much about the minutia of where I'm investing, and because she knows I'm going to do it. I've been investing for 30 years. Well, I'm going to do it. She knows, and we are pretty free to spend about whatever we want on things, unless it's a car. We make those big decisions together, but we can make those. But if things are getting scary, I'll be like, hey, we've got to watch our. But I never say I spent or you spent. We should look at where we are. We sit down once every couple months and I go, here's where we are. This is what we have. This is here's what we're spending. Let's adjust if we have to. We've just been lucky that we haven't had to adjust.
Right. And good for you, because there's a lot of research about the me couple versus the we couple. And the we couple that thinks of things as a we, and we're a team and it's ours. The household is ours to run. The kids are ours to parent. Like it's a we, we're a team, tends to do a lot better long-term than two independent people with me, mine over here and me, mine over here. And we just happen to live in the same house. Like that goes a lot better.
Nothing worse than watching divorce court and the guy standing there, hey, this is my wife and I'm the man of the house. And he hasn't worked in 5 years. You know what I mean? He's playing video games all day. She's doing everything. This is my house and my money. And it kills me. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Here you go. Is good sex or good communication more important? How about good communication during sex is very important?
That's probably the best. Good communication means good sex. I think they go together.
Well, good communication during sex. Yeah. Nothing worse than sex, very quiet. No, and you don't know. You ever turn and go, honey, what's going on here? We need to, or she turns up and goes, yeah, we need to move it along. Come on, let's move this along. Could we? And vague. Yeah, hurry it up. Well, and for all the women out there, we love knowing what's happening, but don't lie. Don't lie. Now, we're going to talk about the actual question in a second, but don't lie in sex. Help us and communicate with us of what's good, what's bad, and make sure we know. And then you're going to be so much happier.
That's a vulnerable time. So if someone's going to communicate during that time, I'm hoping they couch it very gently and use positives like, don't do that. Don't do that. Like instead of
positive, that's a negative. Only use positives. Yeah, there's a great comedian, Artie Woodry. Shout out to Artie Woodry out there. He has the greatest joke in the world. He says, my wife, she has an A spot. You get close, she goes, hey. So it's Artie Woodry. Hire him for your comedy needs. One of the great guys, growing up, one of the greatest comics I ever worked with, Artie Woodry from Indianapolis, Indiana. Shout out to Artie. So yes, back in still the sex thing before we take the next part of this is that, but my goal is that you're having sex with somebody that you're one with, that you're okay. I'm not going to say you have to be married, all that kind of stuff, but a one night stand ain't nobody communicating and she ain't going to like it 90% of the time. That's a thing. But when we talk about true couples, when you're a couple, I say this all the time, you're a couple, you need to be open and honest with each other and be able to talk and have this communication. You're having sex, for God's sakes. You're already having sex.
Let me clarify. There's a big difference between sex and intimacy.
Okay? Yes, of course.
Every relationship can have both. You probably want the majority to be intimacy, quality connections versus sex. But yes, you can have sex too. Like it's absolutely fine. Not every connection has to be quality. But when there's no intimacy and only sex, then we have a problem. And intimacy only happens when both people are open and honest and communicating. So there's no intimacy if someone's not communicating.
Well, and it's a marriage show. We're doing a marriage show, so we're talking about marriage. If we
Yeah.
do 1,000 one-night stand hookups, we'll do that show later.
Questions.
Yeah, we'll do the hookup questions later. If you have a hookup question, bring it on. No, because we're talking about marriage, and hopefully in the marriage, you've waited. Your marriage isn't a one-night stand hookup. So now, and if it is, you're Danny Bonaducci. What?
Mine is the longest one-night stand ever. We are 30 years in.
Every morning for 30 years, you wake up and sneak out of the room, grabbing your panties and your dress, and you walk home.
That would make the one-night stand over. I went in and never left.
Oh, so at some point after 40 years, you may do that. You may wake up
and leave
and uncomfortably wander out of the room, wondering what you did.
And do the walk of shame and all that.
Okay, now let's answer the actual question. Is good sex or good communication, not having to do with sex at all, more important?
I don't believe you can have good sex without good communication.
No, there's no sex. No sex. No, there's no sex.
Okay, clarify.
Is good communication in your marriage, not sex, just good communication, more important than having good sex? So you have a couple that has terrible communication. They treat each other horrible. They don't talk, but man, are they having the great sex, which happens a lot. There are a lot of women, and I'm going to say this, a lot of women who meet a guy and he really blows them away sexually, and they stay way too long because he sucks at everything else.
That's guy thinking. Girls don't think like that. No, that's not true.
That is totally true.
No, guys think like that. Guys are with somebody who they're great in the bedroom, and that's why they're hanging out with them for so long. That
happens too.
Girl thing.
Then explain to me why some of these women are staying with these horrible.
He doesn't want that security. If he has
no security, the guy has no job. He treats him like crap. He does all this garbage.
No woman is with a guy and staying with him just because he's good in the bedroom ever.
What I love in the comments, Casey Moody's a friend of mine. She just said, I don't think like that. Well, Casey, you've been married to the same guy for 35 years too. How long have you been married? Let me know in the comments. But okay, I say it happens to both men and women, but that's not the point. So his question though is if there's bad communication and good sex, is that better than having not good sex, but you communicate wonderfully as a couple in every other way?
So if you think about it as a relationship, being a couple is a relationship.
Yeah.
You would need the communication more than you would need the sex to maintain an actual relationship.
Because sex could be something you can't have for some reason.
Yeah, or your body doesn't function the way you want it to function. You can still think of all the friends you have. You can have a relationship without sex.
And you can have sex with all your friends instead of the bad sex with your spouse. No. Because I've always thought, and I run this through my head every once in a while, is that if suddenly sex was cut off forever, I would stay. We are one, and I would work it out. We would work it out, and she would do the same thing because
friends.
That's part of it's part of better or worse. You know what I mean?
It's part of being friends. Do you diss your friends if you can't have sex with them?
Oh no, I have sex with all my friends. Okay, next one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, wait. Okay, these two are blank. I don't know how those got in there. Okay. Ooh, it's a folded one. Let's see. Okay, so this one just says, this is nice. How do I listen to my wife better? That one's going to come up a ton, but you know my views on this because I've talked about it. But tell people real quick before we do the next one. How does a man listen better?
It's not so much with your ears,
but your penis. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I swear you bring up penis in like everything. It's always, you're like, somebody somewhere, penis. Okay.
I like that you said bring up penis. Yes.
All right.
Yay. Come on, everybody. Wow.
So listening is just your ears, but when you really want to understand where they're coming from, they call it, what do they call it? Empathic listening, or they call it reflective listening. It's not just I hear what you say, it's I understand what you're saying and where you're coming from. So if you want to be better at this communication thing, I suggest you really try to understand where they're coming from versus just I hear your words, yes, okay, bye.
Well, and if you can reflect, I remember in some of my master's classes talking about reflecting what they say. Can you repeat back basically what they're telling you, and in a way that they'll go, yeah, that's what I'm telling you. You know what I
I know
mean?
couples do this in session as like an activity. I'm like, so what did they say? Not what are their words,
That's
but
right.
what are they feeling and why? Can you understand what they're feeling and why versus just parrot back their words? And that's actually harder for some people than you think.
And I was just going to say something really, really gross, and I'm not going to. I just lost your audio. Talk more.
Hi.
There you go. Your audio went out there for a second. So, okay. What was that question? I forgot. Oh, how do you listen better? Well, and I say this as a man, we struggle. We do struggle because our attention is waned easy. So I always suggest to women, make sure that you're not just walking in as he's doing something else and just start talking, and then you're mad
Right.
because he's involved in something else.
Attention.
Yeah.
It
It has
is
to be, let's have this time aside where we're doing this, you know what I mean? And then his phone is away and your phone is away, and he's listening. But I also say, don't make it really long either. You know, we don't have an hour long capacity to listen. We just don't.
I tell ladies to prep them. Like, if you just want him to hear what you're saying, then just tell him, I don't need you to fix anything. I just want to vent. At least it gives him an idea of what you're looking for. Otherwise, he has like no clue. Am I supposed to fix this? Am I supposed to like solve the problem? What am I supposed to do?
Well, and there's a lot of times when I want to say this again, we are not your therapist. So venting too much where we're just sitting there listening to you vent, you need to find someplace else to do that. You need to find.
You got to be able to listen a little bit to it, though.
Hey, I'm not saying not a little bit, but I'm just saying there's so many guys out there.
Hours and hours.
Hours and hours. Because women do it with their friends that so much. They're so good at it with their friends, you know, that they think we can do, and we just aren't capable of doing that. So we're your husband. We're not your therapist.
Oh, guys.
Oh, I know. Why luckily we don't know this person. It's why do wives, not wives, why do wives, WIFES, why do wives think we can read their minds after being married for 20 years? No, wives think we can read their minds after being married for 30 minutes.
Yeah, right? We can read yours. Why
can't you can? See, that's the problem, is so many women kind of can take these cues and kind of read men's minds in a way, if they're good at it. But the problem is women are so much more complicated, and we're so much more lacking. We lack the vision and understanding and pay attentiveness, and we are incapable of doing it. And sometimes women do want us to read their minds.
So let's go with the sciencey answer. Okay, so the science answer is that women have 7 times more oxytocin in their body than a male does typically.
And it's oxycodone if you're Rush Limbaugh. Okay, go ahead.
And the oxytocin is actually like love potion number 9. It's a bonding hormone. So it makes us more in tune to how you're feeling and all the cues and all that. We have more of that, so we do that more. But here's a recent thing I read, is that if the wives make the men take care of the babies, the men develop a higher level of oxytocin, and then they can read your mind a lot better. So make them raise the babies.
I did a lot of baby raising, and I'm still not mind reading very well. Although it's not as much mind, because I think I've even recently said this. I can't, because I didn't know anything. And then I just was supposed to have done something, and there was no, it can get too far sometimes, but my thought is, I always say whenever there's a problem that if I have to have a time machine to fix it, then I don't need to hear it more than once. What?
Is that the go back in time machine? Like, too
Yeah.
bad, it's over, bye.
Well, it's like, why didn't you do this? Well, I didn't do that. What can we do now? Well, you should have done that. Wait a minute. Don't have a time machine. Already didn't happen. Can't do it now. Let's look forward to what we can do. No, I want to know why you didn't do it. Doesn't matter why I didn't do it. Didn't happen.
I tell people, ask the question, what are you going to do different next time? What did you learn?
Yeah.
What did you learn from that?
But people just sometimes want to know what they just can't get over that it didn't happen. It just, I have to have a time machine. I have to know. You have to go back and fix it. So, okay, we're going to do 2 commercials. Go.
Okay.
Voted Michiana's #1 restaurant, Doc Pierce's will reopen soon. From now until then, we are offering a $10 bonus card that never expires for all gift card purchases of $50. Go to docpierces.com to get your card today. There's no limited. You can get 1 bonus card for every $50, 2 for $100, etc. Or call 574-255-7737. Leave a message. Now check out the fine print. I hope you're enjoying 1,000 Marriage Questions, and if so, you can become a friend of the show by donating $10, $5, $1 to keep us up and running. Or you can get some silly and fun merch from the show, t-shirts from the bucket that are a sure conversation starter, and Brad Tassell's best-selling book, You Did It Where, The Strangest Places People Have Sex. Just go to the website, virtualcomedyshow.com, and click shop.
Yay! I want to sell 10,000 copies of The Strangest Places People Have Sex.
That says where your mind is still. Like,
well, it's a cute book. There's nothing. It's just, I gave questionnaires about people's strange to over 6 months to thousands of people. And I got 1,000 answers of people. And then I asked them to tell me the story. If there's, because people are terrible storytellers. So if they made it up, I knew immediately if they were making it up. But if I saw them living the story through their head, then I would use it. And then I would just write a joke for it. Like one of the main jokes I do is in a morgue in a drawer is one of the places that people had sex. And I always say, well, she was a little stiff at first. Yeah. So it's just a very cute little PG-13 book of jokes and places and stuff like that. So, okay. One more, and then we'll wrap it up for this week. Here we go, and enjoy. Here we go. Oh my God. Okay. So, I'm not, okay. So there's the BJ word in this one.
Okay. BJ if you want, if kids are watching.
Kids should not be watching, and we said we would be frank. I just don't want to be that frank.
Okay.
Do you still have to give BJs after you're married? Of course you do every day. It's a law. Go.
Law? Oh,
law.
Get that memo.
Shira law or whatever it's called.
You never have to do BJs. How about that?
That's right.
That's not a have to do situation. And if you were doing it when you didn't want to do it, that's on you. You should have said something. But it's a body part. And when you love somebody, it's nice to love all their body parts.
I think that's beautiful. And she's probably not that good at it anyway, so it doesn't matter. No. Anyway, but
then probably not.
She's probably not. But very few. I don't think, not that it's been 30 years since I've been even near another woman, but if I'm remembering correctly, most men were like, just that's enough. Let's move on. That's okay.
Isn't it my point of view is you could be done now?
Yeah. Let's move on to something else. Thank you for trying. Thank you for giving it a go. Give it a go there. That's okay.
I don't recall hearing that guys say stop.
What?
I don't recall hearing or that a guy will ever say stop.
Well, here is a little secret you don't know about guys, and because there's a point where she just doesn't know what she's doing. It's not moving us forward. You know what I mean? It's not moving us forward because she really doesn't have a handle on moving it forward. So we need to do something to progress. And maybe that's a thing. But
interesting.
The what?
That's interesting.
Yeah. Now, I'm guessing though, if a woman is wonderful at it and really good at it, then
that's my problem. That's was.
Well,
That's why no one ever says stop.
yeah, when it's oh God, yes, no one ever. Give me the number of people on that one, Donna.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
Both
just
hands, more than both hands.
not telling you nothing.
Not telling you nothing. So yeah. So when we talk about this specific thing, and here's the other thing though, if a woman is incredible at it, it's not going to last more than a couple of
Right.
30 seconds anyway. So here's my advice to her. If you still think it's okay, be so good at it that it's literally over in 30 seconds. Then you don't have to worry about it.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Get
Now,
so good that it's over in 30 seconds and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Now, to be clear, though, no one ever has to do anything sexually with anybody ever. Let's just be clear about that. So, we'll talk more about this on the next show because this is an important topic
About
and
BJs?
stuff like that. About BJs. Well, and this concept that you don't understand that sometimes people just aren't that good at.
Consent. Talk about consent.
Always consent. Yeah, we are very consent oriented here. Even in your marriage, there is no she didn't say no. No is no. I don't care if you're married, not married. I don't care who you are. But I want to talk about, and I'll remind myself this next week. Come back next week, and we'll talk about this and Garfunkel and Oates, and they have a song about this, and we might play it and talk about it if I get permission. Okay. Anything you want to say before you go? Go to Donna Wilburn65 at gmail.com and get the real therapy that you need because we're just a show. Go to virtualcomedyshow.com and find stuff and get a hold of me. I do comedy shows. Come and see me do that. Anything you want to say, Donna?
I think you're doing awesome, Brad.
That's because I'm drunk. Thank you very much. We'll see you later.